Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about working on the wrap that is going to go around my bunting advent calendar Roxy Journal of Stitchery project for Christmas. So I started it quite a few weeks ago and I was holding off a little bit because I didn't know how thick my panels were going to be. And being that we're close to the end and there's only a few more to go, I sort of feel like I've got a bit of a feel for what the thickness is going to be. So what I've done, if I'll flip this over, is I had left this gap here, not knowing really where I should finish it. So I've popped the piece around my panels and I pinched it up, like pulled this up, this felt, and then pinned it, cut the excess off and stitched it all down. So now it's joined. So that's now set in position of where I think it'll need to be. It does have a little bit of stretch in it. So see, if I'm a little bit out, it probably won't really matter too much, but I'm getting quite a lot of scraps now in my bucket. Well, my case, as you can see, that's what I've been working from for this project. So some of these little pieces I sort of want to start getting down in position, and that'll give me something to stitch on in between waiting for prompts as well. And there's quite a lot of work to do here because it's going to be like a snippet roll, but bigger. So it's all the snippets left from the project, all the little bits and pieces. And then in amongst it will be a little bit of embroidery, like I've left a little patch there and just written the word Christmas. I did a snowflake there and joy to the world there. So as I sort of gone along, I've sort of just been keeping all my bits and pieces. Now the other special thing about it, if you recall, this is a linen shirt that I found in my mum's closet when we were cleaning her closet out. As you know, she passed earlier in the year, so it's a little bit of a special nod to mum in the project. So it's lovely to have this shirt involved. Now, what I'm going to do today is I just want to add some more fabrics, lay them down. So the base of the fabrics is what I'm attempting to do. Oh, I was thinking about putting an envelope here on the inside of it, but as I was going through the journal, just sort of getting a feel for its thickness, I realized that near the end is a join where I ran out of calico and needed to join a bit in to get the last page. So it has thrown my numbers out a little bit because I went ahead and did the numbers as well. So my 12th number is on the back page and the 12th image will be just on the inside of the back page. But what it did give me is a pocket for the envelope that I gave to my mum a couple of years ago. So I'm sort of pleased that it's found a home in there because, you know, it's just rolling around in my craft room, so it can tuck into there quite easily. I've added a little bit extra fabric where we haven't done the prompts, so I'm pretty confident that my size of my wrap, my snippet wrap, will do the trick. So not sure what I'm going to do on the inside here. That's another day of thinking. No, who knows? But for now, I just want to start laying down some more of some backgrounds, getting them stitched down just with some basic stitching, and then I can start going through all of my scraps and embellishing it with, you know, all sorts of bits and pieces. I'll also have a look back through my stitchery project pieces and see if there's something from each one that I want to bring forward. Now I know, for example, what comes to mind is the bauble in particular. Where is that? Yeah, this bauble one that I did, which was antique or vintage image. There's some baubles left. See, snippets everywhere. Just want to get them down. There's a bauble or two left. So what I'd like to do, one of them was damaged if I remember rightly. The stitching, yeah, here, the stitching had come away. So I do have a good one. This one does have a stain on it, which is easier to hide. I think I could probably disguise that stitching more so than that stain due to the position it's in. So I'm just going to snip. It's a very old placemat that I picked up in an op shop, so who knows its history. I can see a ring of stain there. It's obviously been well used and well loved. So I'm going to pull this piece out because I really would like to see this on the cover somewhere. So I was really happy with the way that that particular prompt came together. I could even leave that skirting on there because I didn't on the prompt, and I do like it. So I might just nibble this in here a little bit. Maybe it can be a feature at the front here. I'll just leave it there for a moment. Do we do it up higher? Bring it in around those buttons. Look, I'll pin it there for now. Oh, blunt pin. I'm sick of buying pins that are blunt. You know, when you pick up that quick little pack of pins because you've forgotten your pins, so you just grab a cheapy pack from anywhere, and they're just nasty. Okay, all right. So I'll leave him there for now, but I probably will need to tuck things underneath him, but I know he's a feature that I would like. I feel like it needs to be down below, down lower. Yeah. I think it's the scallop that's made me do that. Something has. Okay, so let's just pin that for a second or two. All right, now let's have a look at some scraps. Got a bit of a gap here to fill, so I might start with doing that. So how have you all been? I hope you're all well. I hope you're in your rooms doing what you love to do. It's our little bit of therapy, isn't it, for the week? So I think that fits nicely there. That'll fill in that little gap a little bit. You'll probably end up getting covered, but okay. What else have we got? Lots of bits. Lots of little bits. Got a bit of dark blue linen here too that I'd like to take a piece from. Hasn't this project been so much fun? Oh, I cannot thank those girls enough for taking the time to host it. It's been a lot of work for them. But boy, hasn't it been fun? It's been a lot of beautiful, beautiful pieces, and I think a lot of you have really pushed yourselves and are pretty chuffed with the results, if I must say, which is just fantastic. So I've got a different height here, so I need to sort of blend the height. So I might actually finish that one just over there, but not quite there. And then I might put some lace through there just to help disguise that even more. Not that it matters, because I want it to be scrappy, so bits and pieces hanging over really is not a big thing. Wouldn't mind that being under there, actually. I can just get that in there a little. And that one maybe on top. Oh, there's a pin. Well, it feels good to be getting onto the cover again, because I've been so enthralled in the actual prompts and the pieces that the cover's sort of just been sitting there looking at me. Hasn't found a completion at all. So this is going to be great. Now, I did have somewhere some flowers cut out, all these scraps. I might just pull a few more out. They were cut out thinking I might stitch them into something there. So I want to use some of these elements as well. These little fussy cut pieces. Let's see if there's anything in there that catches my eye. Oh, there's some nice. I like those flowers. They could come in there. They are missing a few. Here's a possibility. It was tricky because this little strip was cut, so there really wasn't a lot of good flower images. They were all sort of chopped, where one of the other colours where this strip was created, the flowers were perfectly positioned that I could nibble them out and use them. But I think that's not too bad. I sort of think I want it lower so that I can bring something in to take over that corner that's missing. Or do I want to do that guy? No, it's too big, I think. Got some. No. There's too many other nice things I could be using than mucking around. See these little bits of lace left. Can be just found a home. Find a home. We'll find a home. I feel like that needs to terminate. I'm getting too fussy now. I should be focused more on laying down the background, but I've just picked up this lace and gone onto a tangent here. Doesn't really matter. Now, what else have we got? Some other little morsels is what we need. Definitely want some of this paisley represented. Maybe that could go through. It sort of fits. If it comes down a little bit, that would be cute. Now, I probably want to do some more embroidery on this as well, so I should probably grab a patch and work it in too, just to have a bit of a space to do something a bit decorative. I don't know what yet, but let's create a little position there for something. I wonder if those flowers could come out. Keep going back to it. there's something in the other box of that print that maybe I can bring across when I start doing my feature pieces. I really liked this fabric too. I used a little bit of it on one of the pieces. Might just take a piece at the moment. Bit of sparkle. I'll think about that. I don't know. I'm just not sure. Let's just get down. Need a bit of blue. There's really no rhyme or reason to this. It's just pop it down. If you like it, pin it down. And then we stitch it into position and it's done. Decision made. Might just put that piece across the top here. It's going to be one of those covers I think I could just pick up at any time and just add a stitch or two. And it's just will become more and more embellished. I think every Christmas when I pull it out to use it, I can pretty much grab the cover and add a stitch, which will be so much fun to have this piece that just keeps going. What do we want? We want some of these. This has been a bit of a favourite, this particular holly piece. So I think we need to work some of that in before I run out of space. I like the little detail on that blouse with the little holes. So I'm going to try and keep that where I can. Tuck that under there. That's nice. And I really enjoy seed stitching that, so it'll be nice to have a little piece of that coming through that I can embellish some more. Maybe this has got to come along a little bit. Oh, I drank my coffee so fast that now I'm having a hot for better a word, a hot flush because the caffeine's surging through me. Whew. I was in such a rush to get in here and get busy. I've got a fairly quiet weekend coming up. Nothing planned, and I can't wait. You know when you feel like you're being pulled from pillar to post and you just want it to stop for just a wee moment. It doesn't last long because you're soon looking for things and you make jobs for yourself. That's sort of how I feel at the moment. It's like we've had a very busy week, and this weekend there is nothing planned. We're not seeing anyone, we're not doing anything. We're just doing nothing. And I can't wait. And I'll have all this stitchery prepped. So I've got paisley already, so I don't need that. I need something to sit in there, maybe a bit of this pale blue. little scrap here that needs a home. I think that was used on the snowflake piece, the background. I'll just get rid of that under there. Background filler. That's good. No, I keep picking that piece up. It has to be something better. And I really like that one too. Bit of texture. There we go. I got a funny edge. We might as well neaten up that piece of fabric by chopping off this little bit. Okay, some of these pieces I could probably start putting away too as we sort of come to the close. There's a couple more prompts to do yet, so I guess I'm probably tidying up a little bit too soon. Let's get something in there. What do we need? Something pale. Do we get the blue coming up there? Might sneak that guy underneath all that. So we're going to just lift this. Oh, I could fiddle with this type of stuff all day. Sort of don't need to think too much. You're just placing it down, random pieces of fabric. And you sort of know when it's done, You know, you just keep going until it just looks good. Now the blouse has a bit of a kick out here. I'm going to follow the line of the blouse because it is what it is. I'm not going to try and straighten it. I'm just going to let it take me where it wants to go. Maybe that one goes in there. Do I bring that one back over? No. I think I need to bring this one and that one over. Yeah, that's better. Sort of felt like that blue had dropped into a little hole deep. I think that's a bit better. Yeah. And that can be a feature of something, you know, it'll find find something. Something will turn up. That's good. I like that. Now I just need something to come through here. Might do something fairly neutral. I'm just sort of looking across my table for just a neutral scrap that could drop in behind there. That sort of competes a bit too much with that. Something more like this, I think. I don't actually have as many little bits as I thought I did. Maybe I use this. It's a little bit neutral, very neutral. Okay, let's just lift all that for a moment. Tuck it in underneath. I'm sure it'll be covered with something. It's really just to have something there. I've got a little bit of a floral thing showing through there. It's just to have something there for now, but it'll probably be covered in lace. Like by the time some random pieces of lace start going on, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Yeah, that's good. It's just about getting that background down. Could do with something through there. There must be a little bit we can cut off. That should be able to be tucked in there. Might be able to fussy cut around that leaf a little and use it as part of something. Yeah, I like that. I can do a little bit of embroidery on that little guy there. So he is good. Okay, well, I think I've got my background down. I do have a bit of space that hasn't been addressed up this top corner. So I think I want to bring a little bit more. Just sort of feel like that's not quite right there. I think it needs to be I think that will be a piece of lace through there. I think I'll leave that. Okay. Let's go up here. Spots. That I think could be a lace motif, I think. No use getting too small with these little pieces yet. Now what do we do up here? I sort of want to see a bit of the blouse, so I'm not too worried about the top edge, but I sort of feel like we've got something quite not right there. Maybe that patch will help me out here. Yeah, there you go. Can just be stitched there. I like my little vertical line thing happening there. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's got rid of a few more bits and pieces. Now, I did want to look at some lace motifs that I had. Now, this lace went onto a panel, and I just love it. And I would love it to appear on here as well. Just a little piece of it. So I'm going to snip that off around those little flowers. If I could have a few bigger pieces like this that I know I want to use, I might as well get them in position now, because they can become part of stitching down the background. Yeah, It's pretty. Okay. That is a very good start. All right, now what I'm going to do is just start using my needle and thread and securing down this background. Why is it all puckery over here? Just doesn't want to sit like, might do that. I think it'll be a bit more flat. Yeah, that's better. I had that piece of lace there, but it's going to go there now, I think. Or there. Who knows? Now it's back off. Oh, goodness, it doesn't matter. Let's get this background down. And I wonder what we could stitch there. There's a few more prompts to go yet, so maybe something will come. Something will come along. So I'm just going to start down here, I think, and doing the classic invisible stitch. So just coming up from behind with the tiniest of little stitches. And then jumping along and coming up again. So I'm just going to work on this now for the next part of this video. So if you did want to move along and watch something else, feel free. Won't be too much exciting things happening here. I do have a little leaf that's damaged there, so we might look at bringing some buttons in or a snippet of some lace. There'll be something that can be added there just to disguise the fact that there's a little bit of wear and tear on it. It's such a good find when you're in a op shop and you find pieces like this that, you know, probably they nearly thought twice about even putting it out because it was stained and well used. So the folks that are in the back sorting things probably think, oh, it's not worth it. And it would probably end up in the trash. But I'm sort of thinking because it was so pretty, it's probably caught someone's eye and they've thought, oh, we'll pop it out. It might sell. And then crafters like us come along and go, oh, we can use that. Even if it's a corner of something, we often spot it like an eagle eye. So I'm just going to scoot down here. So there's no rhyme or reason to this. You can methodically go from side to side by all means. And sometimes I do that. But when it's scrappy like this, I tend to just scoot where I need to go. I don't know, maybe I'm just too impatient to go side to side. Don't know. Get rid of these pins is a good thing. A few stitches in the exact spots you need it. Is all you need. I'll have to find some nice fabric to go on the inside of this wrap. I don't think I want to show all my stitching. See, that's another option. You can just leave it open so that you can see all your work. I don't think I want to. I don't think I'm going to get any enjoyment out of that. Others may, but I don't. They may look at it and go, wow, look at all those stitches. I look at it and go, oh, look at the mess. That's good. That's secure enough anyway. I'm loving how this is coming together. It's going to be a beautiful piece. And I was sort of thinking that even once the bunting is up and on display for Christmas, this piece in itself may just get laid out as a bit of a placemat somewhere. May as well have it so that I can look at it. Oh, look at that. It's all puckery. What did I do wrong? Look at that. Oh, goodness me. Oh, no. No, it's all right. It's just that it had got puckery underneath. I thought I had it flat. Very good. I thought I might have to unpick it then. So now I'm just going to rethread, go back to that edge and just sort of scoot along again, catching fabric as we go. Probably about an inch up will do the trick. Might go a little bit higher as well. Now I can get rid of that pin. So what do you all have planned for the weekend? Anything exciting, or are you having a quiet one? Oh, I do like the odd quiet weekend. We had a few dinner invites and just with mates where we just, hang out. Nothing, super flash like fancy restaurants or anything like that, just hanging out. And we just sort of said no. We just needed a bit of time out. Okay, so that's bauble is nice and secure there now. Beautiful. I just scoot up because I have secured that corner there, that blue fabric. It's a bit of a painful job because you got all your pins in the way. But once you sort of suffer it and get it done, you're away. Just getting these little invisible stitches down, it is so worth it. Just getting it all flat, making sure it's sitting right. Very boring for YouTube footage, mind you. This is not riveting stuff, is it? I'll put a couple little stitches in this lace, but I will need to come back and really secure it down with lots of little stitches because you don't want it catching on things as you pick your piece up and use it. But I'll be able to just get a few little itty bitty stitches there. And it won't go anywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to drop down a little bit and catch this edge, and that'll hold that fabric in. Take that pin out now. You know what I felt like doing this weekend is actually going to like a vintage market or a fair or I don't know, I just felt like wandering around something like that. Not that I need anything, but I just sort of felt like I wanted to be around it. Just a little bit of oldness. Does that make sense? There was nothing on anywhere that I could see. Okay. So that's nice and secure. Might end that off. I might as well just scoot up a bit higher, hey? Got a couple more stitches left in that thread. So I may as well come up here to that paisley. And get that bottom there secure. Okay. Boring TV, but it's all part of it, isn't it? We all go through these processes. Okay. All right. That's looking gorgeous. Now another piece. You know, when you finish one of these reels of cotton and then you look back at it and go, it was 500 meters or 1,000 meters was my last one, and then you think, my goodness, that's how many meters I have stitched. Now I remember at school quite vividly how far a 100-meter sprint was, the straight stretch of the oval. And when I see, oh, what did I do there? When I see that reel of cotton and how many meters I've travelled, oh, feels a little epic. It's amazing how far we go with our needles. Okay, coming around the top of that bauble now, and it is not going anywhere now. Oh, I'm so pleased I was able to use the bauble again. It's so pretty. I just will put a bit of sparkle on my piece. It's all in position, forever stitched right there. Okay, now along we come. Get that all secure. The fun bit next, going through all my scrappy bits of lace and pinning them down in random spots, trying not to think too much about it, just making it a collage of yumminess. Those little flowers are hard to get a needle through. Where's a gap? Maybe I'll go to a nursery this weekend and buy a plant. That'd be good. I really should go and buy some clothes. Oh, I hate buying clothes. I'm not a clothes person. I'm one of those shoppers that goes to the door of an establishment that sells clothing, and I'll glance in, and if I don't see a colour or a pattern of fabric that catches my eye from the door, I don't go in. I keep going. Too much painfulness to go through it all. You'd think someone who loves fabric would be in there looking at all the fabrics, but I just, yeah. And I really need to go and do some shopping. My clothes are starting to look quite tired I'm a shocker. I sort of tend to, when I do go, I'll go and I'll buy quite a few things, and then you won't see me for a year or so. Unless it's a special thing happening, like a wedding where you sort of go for a wander through a shopping centre because there might be something that catches your eye. Well, that's, you know, that's all well and good. But when it's just everyday clothing, oh, laborious. And because I sort of work from home or work in a uniform, my clothing doesn't need to be all that fancy. You know, I'm not in a suit or anything like that. So you're always looking for nice tops and blouses and things like that. I'm not. My business I run from my home. So I'm sort of looking for comfortable clothing that's not too slovenly, because otherwise, you know, if I had my way, I'd be in jeans and a t-shirt every day, which I am, to be honest. But I try and, I'm always in jeans, so I very rarely wear a skirt. So I try and find blouses or tops that have lots of colour and, you know, just sort of make me feel happy. I'm sort of like the bright colours and the navies and the blacks and more brights. I'm all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason. So I sort of then wear them because no one really sees me. So I sometimes look at myself and go, gosh, that top's getting daggy. You know, I've got pussycats, so they're constantly climbing all over me and their claws will pull a thread. And there was somewhere I went the other day in one of my tops where it's sort of a real soft, silky chiffon fabric, and I wear just a little black singlet underneath because it's so hot too in Queensland. I just often wear a lot of little singlets and then throw something over the top. Nice and comfortable. And I looked down at my shirt. I think I was at the grocery store. I looked down at my shirt and there were so many pulled threads from my cats. The top looked terrible. And I thought, oh my goodness, time to, you know, and then, you know, it's always the way when you're feeling like you're looking a little bit rough. Around the corner of the aisle comes a neighbour for a chat. It's like, oh, you must think I've crawled out of a dumpster. But not that I'm not too worried. I'm pretty casual. I probably spend more time thinking and planning craft projects than I do thinking about my wardrobe, what I'm wearing. Gosh, I barely wear makeup. Oh, I'm a shocker. I really am. I just think of the money that I've saved by not wearing makeup pretty much my entire life. I did when I was a little girl. We'd get ready for church and I was allowed to put eyeshadow on for church and a little bit of lipstick. And I loved it. But as I grew up older, I just didn't do it. But they were the days where you would wear blue on your eyes. Those days are gone. So I guess that's why my makeup stopped. I don't know. Never thought about it. But I think the money I've saved on cosmetics, I have invested into my craft room. I get a lot more enjoyment out of that. So I'm okay with the fact that I don't wear makeup. I put an effort in if there's a wedding, but gee, you know, sometimes I go, right, I'm going to do my makeup for the wedding. And then I go to my basket of makeup and I realise that I haven't had foundation on for like 4 years. And I open the bottle and there's nothing in there. It's dried. So off I go to the chemist and I pick up bits and pieces I'll need for my face. And then it comes to the day of the wedding and I'm racing around like a mad chook, probably doing craft when I should be getting ready for a wedding. But I'm still in the craft room. So then I quickly have a shower, throw my clothes on. It gets to the makeup side of things. I put the bare necessities on. If I do any more than that, it looks like another person in the mirror. It doesn't look like me. So I end up wiping most of it off. And then I shoot out the door like a crazy girl. And I'm off. And that's the end of that. So really, if I get the urge to put makeup on, I really should lie down for 5 minutes, take a little rest, and wait for the urge to disappear. And then carry on. That's me and makeup. You've got to admire the ladies that put their face on every day and they do a beautiful job of it and they look flawless, and it's like, oh, if only I was interested in doing that. Wouldn't that be nice? But no, I'm lucky to glance at myself in the mirror as I pass. Shocking. Oh dear. But the flip side is plenty of time for craft and supplies, I think is how it goes. I'll just scoot across with this needle and I will finish it up there. I think you've had enough of me waffling on. We're coming up to our golden hour. Well, this will give me something to fiddle with, won't it? I was just wondering how much of the bulk I need to take out of this piece so that it would wrap nicely around the bunting, and there's just no way of knowing at the beginning. So I'm so pleased I just stopped, let the piece come together the way it has, and then I knew exactly what I need to make the wrap. It's tricky when you're making journals, and sometimes you just don't know how much work you're going to put into them. You're sometimes really not sure if the person that it's going to is going to be a big journaler, as in making ephemera, or they're more of a writer. So it can be tricky working out how big to make a spine. I know most journals can be sort of pulled apart and redone to, make space, or they can be split down into 2 journals. It's not a big thing, but guessing what you need can be a little bit tricky. So the next thing I'll do, once I've finished all of this stitching down via this invisible stitch process, is I'll go around all of these pieces with a contrasting colour and just do a running stitch or an overcast stitch to really lock it down. And then I can start fiddling around with some embellishing in the way of beads and lace and things like that. So that's sort of the process I'll go through, I guess, next, is just getting the background down. And if there's areas where I've done the stitch around like just there and then nothing ever happens there, that's okay with me. If I do the stitch around and then I come back and put some X's or some running stitch or some seed stitches in, that's okay too. It's just whatever. And I think the biggest thing with these types of panels is just focus on 2 square inches and just work that area and spend, a few hours just in that zone, and you'll be surprised how thick and beautiful the piece, there's a pin in under there, how thick and beautiful the piece comes together for you. Okay, I think that's it, guys. I'm going to leave you in peace. I'll carry on with stitching that all down and then maybe just pick a spot and do a little embellishing, and I'll catch up with you all in the next video just to show you my progress. Thanks everyone. Have a great week and I'll see you next time. Bye.